What's the laziest way to break into tech sales with AI in 2025 as a beginner? As someone who broke into tech sales within 30 days from a data analyst background, and we help many clients do the same now, I'm going to break down exactly how to do it the smart way for anyone that wants to break into tech sales from scratch. We're taking everything from networking with people in the industry that you never met to negotiating your first offer. Step number 1, use Props AI to automate your outreach. Okay, so when I say Props AI, this is basically whatever outreach tool you know in the market. This is on steroid. Look at the stats for my business. Originally, this is a sales tool built for people that want to do lead generation for their company. If you're job hunting, you're basically doing the same thing for your own personal brand, So I'm going to show you the stats here. We use it to outreach, to grow our brand. Here's the stat. If you know, acceptance rate, we are able to do it at 27%, right? And reply rate is even as high as 24%. Other than my outreach message is actually so good that one of the things that I think it's come from Props AI, it's their ability to let you send audio automation. Let me show you. People might get a 1 minute audio from me and then they feel oh my God, it's so unique. No one really do that in the market yet. If a hiring manager see this on their inbox, they will be okay, interesting, audio, something new. So how it works is, you gotta generate leads first. You gotta put in leads, and I'm gonna show you guys how to find hiring manager that are actually hiring on LinkedIn just with AI. So let's put Props AI on the side for a second, don't forget it yet. We want to go to GenSpark AI, which I talk about again and again on my video all the time. It's this is the exact prompt that can help you find hiring manager, that are actually hiring right now. Guys, this is the result. Let me show you. So essentially, Mark was on one of the lists I'm showing you. And then when I click on it, I was okay, CRO, interesting. Is he hiring? We are in the prompt, I was telling them to look for SDR, BDR job. It doesn't look like Mark is hiring. But then I dig in deeper, into his post. It looks like Mark actually liked one of the posts. He reposted their job posting. If we were to do it manually, it's going to take years. I used to do it manually, I swear to God, when I first started my business. And back then when I was new in the tech sales game, I was doing it manually. It builds the strength of your ability to dig deeper, But with AI nowadays, you could have just automated. This is another profile that is on GenSpark AI that was showing. So he's very obvious he's hiring, right? But we want to confirm, is he actually works at a software company, So we just want to make sure the AI is giving us the right leads. In the prompt, I told them to do 100 leads, you could have continued doing it, running the query. I stopped because I don't need 100. I just need a couple to show you guys. I don't want to waste all my, credits, it costs credits every month, but it's so worth it. What you do is you download, and then I don't like their download method. It's essentially you should have just download and then I got the file. But then they want you to go to this AI drive, and then you gotta download again, like this. And then now it's in my desktop. So what we do is, if we were to go back to props, right? I would look at how many automation it did for me every day. Here is because my LinkedIn maxed out, near the weekends we always maxed out because only let you do 200-300 per week. So that's a limitation of LinkedIn, But you can also do email here. By the way, if you watch till here and you feel whatever we do in the program and whatever I'm showing you is what you need, feel free to book a call in the description below, and I will come out to have a chat with you to see how we help other people landing their first tech sales job will be relevant to you. So essentially, listen, to create a new campaign, we can name it Tech Sales Hiring Manager, right? It doesn't matter how you name it. And then they will want you to import leads, If you, I try to look for some keywords and then find on LinkedIn to see if we can actually find hiring manager that is actually hiring and accurate. I find the list was not that good. That's why I use GenSpark to extract the quality data. So that's my method. You can play around with yours. And what we did was we downloaded the CSV, right? We're gonna import. So usually they would like take all the data that you had, right? And then you can put into like an existing list. I'm just gonna put in testing, and then you wait. So it will tell you, yeah, like they already imported. So now we are building the query, like we're actually building what the automation step wants to be like. So essentially, think about it, like you're outreaching to a hiring manager right now. You know they're already hiring. You just want to like stand out in the crowd, right? So it would be good to, like at least look at their profile, right? So like very basic, I think like every automation should start with just viewing their profile. And this is essentially like mimicking a human, right? What they would do if they were to go to LinkedIn and talk to people. And then other than that, like I would say you can try to do like common latest user LinkedIn posts. I never do automation in comments. I don't know how it's gonna look like, but you can play around with it, right? What I did is just like liking their latest post. That's what I did. So other than that, then you want to send a first quick message, right? And you also want you want to connect with them on LinkedIn, so whenever you post something, they will see it on their feed. So it's very important to send LinkedIn requests, then do LinkedIn message, because if you only send them LinkedIn message, they're gonna accept it, and also they're not even in your network. Okay, so here is the first message. You want to send it to the hiring manager. Just be like very casually, like, hey, hiring manager, like your team is hiring, right? Like you already know. You just want to like start a conversation like that. And then be like, go straight to the point, like I want to reach out and say how I'm excited about this role, right? Like if there's anything you can like help me stand out in your TA team is like talent acquisition. It's in a very standard corporate way, like they have to have HR to meet with you first to like at least qualify you, right? And then they can meet you. Even though like they like you, like that's how corporate works, So, and it's very important to sign off as your future number one. BDR, if you're applying for AE job, you can change it to AE. It just shows that like you're ballsy. If you put it that way, like you should aim for being the best. If you don't want to be like make a lot of money, be number one in tech sales, like I don't know why you're getting in it. That's a game, and that's a fun part of the game. Like it's like you can make uncapped money. I was like number one in my team the whole time when I was back in tech sales. It feels good, to be in it, and every day just feels like playing video game. And then after that, like you want to wait one day. You don't want to like spam them like with 3 messages a day. It just makes you look so annoying, right? Like no one like that. So give them some time, if they don't reply, we'll wait one day. And then you want to send them audio. So essentially in the audio, you can do something like, for example, like if you are ESL teacher for the longest time, and now you transition into tech sales, you can just be like sales is basically teaching. I helped like over 2,000 students in the past XYZ year. And now I'm ready to transfer all the skills that I had into tech sales and help you build bigger pipeline. Say something like that to get them excited. Your goal is not to get yourself higher in these automation or whatever. You're just trying to make your name memorable in their mind. You just want them to reply to you or at least look at your LinkedIn profile to give you an opportunity, to give you an interview. Because I actually had that. Like back then when I was applying, it was the hiring manager, and then I messaged him, using this exact same message I just showed you guys. And then he literally just replied to me. He was like, oh, I told HR to send you an interview already. It's just that easy. After that, like, cause I didn't record a video. That's why showing action require. If you upload it, like it will go away. And then after, if they still didn't reply, you still want to wait one day. And then at the end, like for the last message, you want to create FOMO. You want them to feel like you are a good candidate and they are missing out, right? Essentially, you can just say something like, yeah, like, are you 100% happy with all the candidates that you've been like interviewing in the process? You can write it in words or say it in audio if you want. If you have a good control of your tonality and your pauses, you could really use your voice to make them feel like, oh yeah, like we interviewed 20 people, like they all shit. After 3 attempts and they still don't reply, then you gotta like move on. We don't want to keep spamming them with messages. So that's why like we want to create FOMO in the last message, to try and see if there's any chance they will reply. So that's basically it. You save, and then you just like after you feel comfortable with your cadence, you can just like go next, and then it would run it. That right now is showing it's like there is like problem because I didn't insert the audio and I didn't insert the message for the final one. But like if you do it properly, it will work. So how can you know if the message actually got sent out? The rule of thumb for automation is whenever you do something, you gotta test it. So after you run the campaign, right, after you like it shows here if it's on, you want to make sure like the one that you want it to be on, it's on, and then, but like this is from the automation end, but you want to test it on your LinkedIn side. So here's a link how to see the message you send out. So make sure every day you check, right, if there's any message sending out from today. And then also check like yesterday, right? See if there's anything sent out daily. One thing you can set here, there's the settings. You can set how many, like what's the time you want the machine to work. Ideally, it would be better to do it different time, different day. Because like when you do too much automation, LinkedIn would know. Like they will kind of flag your account. Try to control the message you send out to below 35, ideally. Yeah. I know like sometimes we're gonna go aggressively. Like, we want to do like 30, 40. But when it hits 40, it's kind of really flagging the account. And trust me, like you only have one LinkedIn. Like I'm assuming most people only have one. Like you don't want to lose your LinkedIn. Now your automation is working. So one example is if you were like, once again, like if you were ESL teacher, like, cause like one of my clients, like she has that background and you want to transition in tech sales, you use GenSpark AI to find similar profile like yours. For example, like this lady, she has like teaching experience in the past. And then now she is a BDR at the tech company. So the best way to like, rebuild your LinkedIn and also like just to gain traction within a company, it's start with someone that have similar background like yours and their company is also hiring, right? So if you were to just like send a coffee chat, a message to Hannah, and then hopefully like hoping she will reply and get on a coffee chat with you, so you can like basically start the interviewing process with her current company. So here's how we basically do research about her. You will use this prompt. We're gonna copy. And then you will also want to take her profile. Essentially how to do it, it's like you can download as PDF. It's very easy. And then you just attach it. And once again, this stage, we just want to know more about her. Like this is like the laziest way, like also smart way to do it. Cause like you don't want to just like go through her account for like hours and hours. You got more important things to do. Instantly, like her background quickly and then why she transitioned tech sales. But we're not done yet. Coming back to my document, step 3, you want to actually use the information ChatGPT tell you, right? And then leverage it to get you an interview or like coffee chat. If you find this helpful, like you'll be surprised once you join the program. We have way more material to guide you through from like 0 to 1. So if you're interested, feel free to book a call in the description below with me. I'll come out and then we can have a chat. So here's a prompt. You can change her name. But like before the coffee chat, the very bare minimum is to make sure she accepts you. So that's why we want to send like a thoughtful message. That's why we're doing the research. The best part about this prompt is we're really trying to push ChatGPT to think deep. Like, we want them to prioritize like a new unorthodox method and also use more example. I want them to think step by step. That's the best way to like make them think clearly and give you deeper results. And also like this is recently like one of the prompts I always use. It's like ask me question till you're 95% confident in this task. Like it's really helpful, especially if you're doing like a lot of like in-depth research or writing. Like having them ask you question helps a lot. The answer you will get would like instantly at a different level. So now you send, since we want them to think deep, so it's taking some time, But it's only 7 seconds. That's not too bad. Okay, So now you see they're giving you a lot of different creative ideas and also an exact script. You can include it in your LinkedIn outreach. The result will vary, depends on the profile you put in, but here's the method. Now, assuming your automation is working, it's getting you coffee chat, and somehow you got some interview, and you want to prepare for it. Here is the prompt. You are a career coach, specialized into tech sales role. I have upcoming interview for BDR role at Toast. I think at this point, Toast should sponsor me already. I've been helping many clients get AE BDR jobs there, and I saw they have a posting. That's why I use Toast again. Based on the description, give me a list of 5 questions I can ask at the end of the interview. So the interviewer will see me proactively enthusiastic. Focus on question about sales method, territory stuff. Okay, following that prompt, you should copy their job description here and then paste it in. Okay, so let's see what question they give you. How do top performer BDR here structure their week to balance? Okay, that's a pretty good question, Because a lot of people would ask what's your top BDR looks like, But this question go into more detail, how do their work, how do their week looks like? All right, what specific things make them stand out? Okay, I like that. What are the key conversion metrics do you track? Okay, it shows that you care about the job, It instantly get them excited. They will be this person is actually thinking, They're not just saying they can do the job. They're actually thinking about how to track their work. That's so important. In tech sales or in general, what is not tracking, it's not growing. You have to track everything that you do and analyze it. Depends on the company and the job requirement, you get different results. But here is how you get high quality question from just using AI. All you need to do is memorize it and then ask it in your own tone of voice, But don't say once a restaurant become a Toast customer, what's the key success metrics do you look for? No. It just sounds too robotic. And then one thing, at this stage, if you want, right, especially you're looking for a tech sales job, you could sign up for Salesforce, right? Like I said, what is not tracking is not growing. You can sign up for the tech sales CRM. CRM is customer relationship management. And it's basically just be think about this, you have 100 friends in your life and you just need somewhere to put all their name, your relationship with them, their date of birth, or when did you meet them. So I would use Salesforce. I'm not a huge fan of them, but I don't hate them as well. So try their free trial. Most importantly, when you insert these information, there will be a SDR will call you. They will actually contact you. And when you pick up a phone, actually listen closely. How they open the call, how do they talk to you, how do they try to get you to actually book a meeting with them? This is tech sales, everything you do or everything I show you in this video or in general in my channel, I just want to empower you to become a better salesperson. And everything we do is yin and yang, they all go hand in hand. So I would try out, after you do some interview, have some network, you should store the information in Salesforce just as a practice. And then once you're in interview, you should mention that too. You can be I actually try out Salesforce, or if you have experience about it, it would be great to even mention it. Because trust me, some hiring manager just so I don't know, they get upset with candidate that actually know how to use the tool they used to use. They just feel it might take people longer time to learn these software. But in reality, it's so easy to use. First of all, they're so mature nowadays. Their UX UI is more intuitive. If you know how to open LinkedIn, you can basically learn how to learn Salesforce. So I wouldn't get super stressed out. If you never use Apollo, you never heard of Zoom Info. The tool is not what is gonna get you hired. What is gonna get you hired is your ability to ask good question in interview, and also your ability to follow up, to follow through a deal. So here's another one you can use to just write something, for thank you email. It's not like they would actually read your email, right? Like most hiring manager, they're busy. But you have to do it. Because like that's like one of the most important like sales like steps is follow-up. Prospect wouldn't come to you and chase you. You gotta go strategically chase them. So again, you can copy this prompt, but like make sure everything is within 200 words. Like don't send like long paragraphs to a hiring manager. They get bored. And like nowadays, like most people read their email on their phone. If you send out a long email, like no one's going to read it. They were just trying to delete. I remember one of my CRO, he used to tell me, as a CRO, like they're like very high level people. They get probably like thousands of email every day. And then what he told me was like, whenever I see an email, my brain just asks me like one thing, like should I keep deleting it or should I read it? And most of the time, they're looking for a reason just to delete your email. So if you only send like generic templates from like, I don't know, the bootcamp you learn, like you would never stand out. But lucky you find this video, like here is the way to, send a most personalized one with the lowest effort. Assume that you pass all the interview, right? And then you finally got your first offer. Be happy, but don't get too excited yet. Because like we have important work to do. We want to maximize your base salary. So here's a prompt, how to do it. We can be like, okay, like 2 person having like a salary negotiation. One job seeker got like a offer for 60K base, right? Plus commission, 120 OTE. The job seeker has researched and find out, okay, like it actually could go to 150, right? With the 75K base. What you want the AI to do is please play out all the conversation in realistic way as possible. Make sure the job seeker is polite yet firm about their understanding about the job market. Because like most of the time, most people don't negotiate is because they don't know what to say. And then like we do that all the time. We help clients negotiate their base in the program. Just to show you a little corner of what we do, like you can use prompt like these. So most of the time you will be like telling the HR, like this is the number you want to get to instead of like just settle at 120K. And then most of the time they would be like, yeah, let me get back to you. Like don't give up. Like when you hear that, like if it's your first time, you might be like, okay, oh my God, fuck, it's game over. Like they're not going to give me a higher number. It's completely fine. Let me get back to you is probably the best answer. And negotiate so many job offers nowadays. The HR first, they don't have the ability to say yes or no. But the fact that they're willing to like go check, it already means they have budget. So like don't feel like, oh my God, like do they have money? Like come on guys, like company are rich as fuck. They have budget, but they just don't tell you. So you gotta be the one that actually taking advantage and then like being firm and then get the money you deserve. The next time you can negotiate your offer is probably in a year. Once you get like in the company and then in a year you probably wait for promotion. But then like what's the point of waiting a year if you could have get a higher base now? I remember like the biggest gap between my base versus like someone else in my team, it was 10K. And when the person find out, like, they wasn't too happy. Essentially, you can tell ChatGPT to stimulate the whole negotiation with you, so you can practice, make sure you're not like nervous, I understand it's like another game, like on top of interview, like this is basically another task or another like big thing you need to practice. If you don't want to do it, like we can help you, So on top of leveraging AI, I'm going to show you like a book you could read. This is a very fun book, It's not only about negotiation. Like a lot of people see it as a sales book. It's just a book to understand human being, how to disarm people, how to actually make sure both parties are happy, but you are still getting what you want. So essentially, Chris Voss is like a very cool guy. He's like a former FBI agent, and he basically condensed all his learning about how to talk to people that are in high stake. So here's the 5 things that why this book would benefit your sales career and also like help you in your job interview process. We have kind of like stereotypes about negotiation. We always feel like, okay, we watch from TV. We always feel like, okay, it has to be like so intense, like it has to be like yelling or tough, being mean or like just like pressure, force people. But Chris Voss actually mentioned you gotta use emotional intelligence to read people, to be able to like pace yourself, say what you want in a firm but also like a way that people can accept, your like counterpart can accept. So that's the first thing you gotta acknowledge. Without acknowledging this, the rest is like garbage. And then second, it's like you want to learn about how to make people agree with you. Like this is very powerful skills, like if I can choose my life or just reprogram my life again, I would like read this book 5 times, because it just shows you a lot about like how human works, how you can use empathy to influence people to get what you want. And most importantly, like in a negotiation or even like high stake environment, or even like if you're just randomly watching my video, like you don't even care about tech sales, like if you argue with your partner, I think this is a good strategy as well. Like you gotta sound understanding. Like most conflict come from each other not being able to feel like they're seen. And in this book, I feel like it opens my mind a lot. It just makes you understand how to control a conversation. How do you make the other party that you're talking to feel seen? Like the fundamental of every human, no matter what race, like where you're from, where you grow up, like we all want to feel like we're important, we're seen, and we're being valued. And then how to do it is basically, it's like mirroring people's energy. I talk about that all the time. It's like when you're building rapport with them, you gotta make them feel like you're actually similar like them. When you see a very introverted hiring manager and you go in with like 200% energy, it just kind of like scare them. You wanna like repeat their last few words. You wanna like also like copy what they do as well, like their body language or like how they say things. And then I think this one is very important when your salary is like a little, maybe a big stretch for their budget, because there's some company that have a very tight budget. I've seen that situation too. So you just ask them, be like, yeah, like how can we make this work? We already went through like 2 months of like interview process. Like I like the company. I see that like the hiring manager also like me. I see we can like build bigger impact together. Like how can we make this work? After you read it, it just makes you have the power and confidence. You will never want to leave money on the table, because like you have the ability to ask. First of all, you have the right to ask. And second, like you just need to gain the ability or the skill just to ask it properly and get what you deserve. So that wraps up our video. If you find this helpful and if you feel like this is the support you've been looking for, feel free to book a call. We can have a chat and then see if there's anything we can help you out. And if you find this video helpful, make sure you check out this one to learn more about tech sales.